Double Typhoon brings the Alliance Cherubimon deck back in action, and this time with even greater power. Okay, Digi-Egg cards. We got 4 copies of Kokomon from EX4. This one just gives you that draw power, especially when you suspend a Digimon with your own effect, meaning it's really there to synergize with your alliance combos overall, so you can draw as much as possible when you're doing so. So that's it for the Digi-Eggs. You guys can run the 5th Digi-Egg, but we'll talk about more of that on the tech choices section as well. So let's move into our rookies. Still running 4 copies of the EX4 Lopmon in particular, just because it is your on-play searcher, grabbing your potential 2 target hits. You can grab Shuchan Wong as your tamer in its name, as well as the 2 color green cards, which is very important. And the inheritable alliance, when you alliance, you get to digivolve into a 2 color green, and you get to reduce the cost by 2. So very, very effective card. Really great for climbing up, especially when I show you guys the combos later on. Next, for the other newer Lopmon, I'm currently running 2 copies of this particular one. At first thought, I was thinking, you know, doesn't really make too much sense to have alliance, especially everything that you have alliance already. But one of the cool things that I found out that you can actually give alliance and stack it up, meaning that when you stack up with alliance, you can suspend multiple Digimon to give it like double alliance, so it gets even more security and even more power, which is a very, very cool unique mechanic, and it definitely comes up. Therefore, Lopmon, really great for the deck too, just to give you even more alliance power. I might even play test up to 4 copies. If you guys figure that out, let me know how it goes as well. But for the other level 3s, definitely want to get the main copies of the Terriermon, 4 of them as well, because it just lets you play your Tamers, it lets you play your Lopmons for a much lower cost, which is very memory efficient, essentially. And with its all turns, while you're suspended, you can extra 1000 DP, which helps you beef up and power up even more. So juggle between the ratios between the new Terriermon versus the new Lopmon to what you desire. And then got 2 copies of the EX4 Terriermon as well, just for mainly searching, finding pieces, just like the other Lopmon you guys saw earlier. This one just grabs the Henry Wong in its name when it comes to the tamer. And then inheritable helps you digivolve faster as well when you do alliance. Let's move into our level 4s. Definitely want to talk about the first newer Wendigomon from the Double Typhoon deck. This one has a on-play and when digivolving effect, you can delete any level 3 lower Digimon, your own or your opponent's. Ideally it could be your opponent's so they can deal with rookies, which is really great. But if this effect deleted one of your own Digimon, you can play a Terriermon or Lopmon back out, and then you're able to use their main effects once again from the trash, which is fantastic. So you can do even more alliances if you ever want to do so. And then all turns inheritable, extra 1000 DP while it's suspended. So this is a really, really good Wendigomon for really, really cool combo plays that you can also be doing. Then we still play the other 4 copies of the other one from EX4, mainly digivolving for 2 on top of Terriermon or Lopmon. Itself has alliance generally, and then with the inheritable end of attack lets you grab resources back from your trash, so you can cycle again and again and make sure you have a good supply when it comes to your Digimon so they can go for more plays. Then 2 copies of Gargomon here. Gargomon is just really great when it comes to even alliancing. Whenever it's suspended, something gets jamming as well. And inheritable, extra 1000 DP during all turns, which definitely comes up when you're doing more combos. Let's move into our level 5s. 4 copies of ALittleSpoon from EX4. This one is like the darker one with the purple and green, which lets you end of attack, lets you play a green level 3 back from your trash for free. Again, really great, because you want to stack up as many bodies as possible to go for alliance combos. And then the inheritable end of attack lets you grab something back, just like the other Wendigomon we saw earlier from EX4. And then for the other ALittleSpoon, because there's 2 ALittleSpoons from EX4, this one has the yellow and green color, where when you attack at the end of attack, you get to recover 1 if you have 3 or fewer security. And then with its inheritable, at the end of attack, you also get to minus DP 2000 to one of your opponent's Digimon too, as long as you have a suspended Digimon after the attack. Since there's so many green cards shown, we all know that it is green season, so if you haven't done so yet, make sure to get your Cyber Zone playmat on the AVAULT store right now with this particular green version so you can match with your favorite green decks, and I really appreciate the support. That's it for level 5s. Let's now talk about our level 6s, starting off with the brand new Cherubimon here from the star deck as well. Digivolving for 3 on top of ALittleSpoon specifically for 3 costs, so you don't have to digivolve it for its 4. Itself has an alliance. When you Digivolve into it, you can delete a level 4 lower Digimon. It can be your own or your opponent's, and then you get to play another level 4 back from your hand or trash for free as well. So then you can always ensure that there's a body for you to go for big attacks when you need to, and you can utilize a lot of other like main effects, kind of just like the Wendigomon, which we saw earlier, when you can sort of utilize your Terriermon and Lopmon effects as well, and giving you a lot of value for it. And speaking of Cherubimon, I'm really excited for Cherubimon X that is coming out in BT16. And it's gonna power up the deck even stronger than before, and I can't wait to play test it and try it out. So if you guys are Cherubimon fans, definitely stay tuned, turn on that notification bell, be sure to subscribe, give this video a like, and I really appreciate the support. And as always, if you guys want to see early deck lists, which I post on the AVAULT Club, definitely join the membership. And I, again, really appreciate the support. But let's talk about more about other Cherubimons. For the other Cherubimons, I'm running 1-in-1 of the EX4, the dark one and the good one. The dark one is really good for floating capabilities because when you Digivolve, one and your other level 5 or lower Digimon can stay on the board when it would be deleted. Not really stay on board, but they get to come back from the trash and be able to play it again. And then it ensures you next turn, you can go for alliance combos all over. And then for the yellow and green one, which is like more of a light one, that's the good guy one, it's really good for DP reduction and control because of its when Digivolving when attacking, you get to minus one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP for each suspended Digimon that you have. So really great removal. We talked about how DP reduction is really great generally, so that's why I'm going for the 1-1 at the moment, just for clutch situations. But I do want to save room because I love this all new MegaGargomon Ace. MegaGargomon Ace, you guys know, does a ton of stuff. Reboot blockers, suspending your opponent's stuff, not letting them unsuspend, not letting them Digivolve as well, Tamers or Digimon. And it can even unsuspend itself to make multiple attacks, blast Digivolve. Although we don't play Rapamon in this deck, still being able to, end with a level 5 on our board, we can still blast into our opponents and make them respect us. And if they don't, we have this super strong body, and then we can always utilize Terriermon from the starter deck to give this guy alliance, and we can do a ton of checks with it. Again, really cool combos that I'm going to show you guys later on with this card. But that's it for all of our Digimon. Let's talk about our Tamers. Still running 2 copies of Henry Wong and Shu Chang Wang, just because they let you play bodies back from your hand with Terriermon or Lopmon if you only have one body at the beginning. However, keep in mind you can't Digivolve, you can't attack, so it's really just for like playing and then using main effects and then your alliance with it. But more so importantly, the secondary effect of being able to help you reduce your Digivolution cost as you're climbing up your archetype stack really helps with it overall. So yeah, 2 copies is really good. And then memory setter right here, 2 copies of Mimi, just because we want to be able to hatch and sort of like turbo more Digi-Egg cards, which is always going to be really good for the deck. We're always going to have like, a level 5 or higher body on the board with this deck anyways, as intended to. Moving into option cards, with our searching options, I'm currently just running 4 copies of Agility Training. You can juggle between the copies of like 2 Agility Training or even 2 Green Memory Boosts, whatever you see fit as well. But also I'm running 2 copies of Double Typhoon. I am testing with 2 right now. I might bump it up to 3 or 4. You guys let me know what you feel in the comments of running more. I know it's really good in the MegaGargomon deck to have more of it, but maybe in this one particular, I mean, giving you an extra body can always ensure you to, be able to use the alliance combo, so it's going to give you pay off really great in the early stages. But we also have Henry Wong and Shu Chang Wang, which kind of does the same purpose anyway, so I feel like we don't really have to stack that up as much. But yeah, this is also a really great searcher, otherwise a really great security bomb to suspend down 2 of your opponent's Digimon when it comes out too. And of course, HPD, really good, always a great card. We're going to have another body intended to, so that we can always use it to sort of Digivolve up to our stack very quickly. And yeah, just basically turbo into it and make crazy plays in 1 turn. Last but not least, for my removal option, playing 2 copies of Heaven's Judgment. Just of course Cherubimon's like signature move here, so we can just like minus DP stuff. We have multiple colors usually. We're mainly green based, which we can utilize it and use this option without needing yellow necessarily. Always just really good because you minus 6,000 and then you minus another 6,000 for every color Digimon you have, so you can easily rack up to 18,000 with the double color Digimon that you essentially do. And then security effect, minus 12k straight up, which is always a great bomb. All right, tech choices and other cards that you guys can also include. I did mention, potentially wanting to run a 5th egg, so Narrowwrong would be a really good 5th egg to also include, just because it gives you extra 1000 DP during all turns. and yeah, while it's suspended essentially. So yeah, I think this is one of the better eggs to go for. There's also the other Terriermon you can also run to sort of like, you know, a floodgate against your opponents to stop memory gaining, but we do want to focus a little bit more on Lopmon in this build, so therefore we don't run that at the moment. But there's also Terriermon Assistant, because if you're going for Alliance, sometimes this is good, like 1 of or even 2 of, if you really need to power up your Digimon to really run over stuff. You know, in a meta where there's a lot of red decks, for example, a lot of the Digimon is going to have a lot of power, and being able to run over those is going to be really crucial for that case too. Then other cool things that have Alliance and related that you can also build and sort of stack up upon is also Black Gargomon and Black Rapidmon, just because they have Alliance themselves, but also giving you really unique inheritables as well. Black Gargomon gives you even more DP buffs, and Black Rapidmon gives you piercing, so that when you swing over the opponent's Digimon and with Alliance, you can deal a lot of damage with it, which is going to be really good. And Black Rapidmon itself also has the end of attack, gets the D-Digivolve on your opponent's Digimon. So yeah, really versatile cards that you can also include to juggle between. Then, of course, if you're looking for level 7, you can certainly run Quartzmon. Just a really generic, powerful level 7 for green decks. Suspend down everything, stop the game, slow it down, or secure your win conditions, essentially with all of it together. I did mention about green memory boost earlier. If you guys want to tech in green memory boost and juggle between your searching options and ratios, definitely go for that as well. And then last but not least, you can also play Giant Missile as the other removal option if you guys want to, instead of Heaven's Judgment. But Heaven's Judgment is probably more value overall, especially when it comes to this deck as well. And combos and how to play the Cherubimon deck. Ideally with your opening hand, of course you want to see your rookies and searching pieces to help you find everything as you go. Of course you do want to be able to find your 4s and your 5s as you're going up your stack eventually, so you can go for bigger plays. Of course, now the ideal thing when it comes to hatching your egg, you definitely want to Digivolve into your Terriermon in the early stages. I do like to set up like Double Typhoon plus agility training. If not, then play like a Lopmon Searcher or a Terriermon Searcher to help you find pieces. As soon as you're ready to go to the next turn, there's a lot of versatility that this Terriermon offers with its main effect. You can play a Lopmon for 1 cost. You can play Henry Wong or Shuchan Wong for 2 cost. Or you can even play Mimi for 2 costs to help you establish Tamers. Always make sure to find as many opportunities as you can to utilize Terriermon's main effect before you do anything else. The other play I like to do is then, you know, opponents sometimes might play a rookie searcher as well in the early stages, and that's why I love to go into this Wendigomon afterwards, because it deletes a level 3 or lower Digimon, which is going to be their searcher. Now, of course, in the early stages of the game, you don't want to really be deleting your own Digimon as much, but with some efficiency, if there's nothing else to delete on your opponent's side, you can actually delete your own Lopmon, and then play back the Lopmon back out from your trash, and then use a searching effect again. So really turbo dig through your deck and find the stuff that you need. Of course, as you go into your level 5s, when you have either ALittleSpoon, depending on which situation you want to get into, whether you want to DP reduce and recover a bit, especially in the mid-game stages if your opponent chipped away your security. Otherwise, going to this ALittleSpoon is equally just as good, so they can start recording your resources over and over again. Always make sure to use Henry Wong and Shuchan Wong's secondary effect to suspend them to reduce your Digivolution costs. Double Typhoon is also great, helping you bring out a body when you don't have one, because then you want to juggle between Henry Wong and Shuchan Wong, being able to make sure you're able to do alliance combos. Now in this particular stack, there isn't too much alliance going on when it comes to Inhurdle, but you can always just attack with ALittleSpoon. You suspend one of your other Digimon alongside with it to buff it up. This one is more of a like DP building here. You guys can see that it will give it extra 1k and an extra 1k as well. So it bumps it up to 11k, which is kind of decent, but still a little bit risky when it comes to power attacking. So therefore, sometimes having a level 4 alongside would be a little bit safer, because it'll beef it up even stronger, so you can, you know, make early level 5 checks and attacks with it. But another way to put it is, like, if your stack was built like this upon, with maybe having this side of ways instead, when you attack and then when you alliance together, is pretty good, because in this case, when you're building your stack, your Terriermon is still staying on board, and it can constantly give you value in playing Lopmons and Tamers again and again and again, and you alliance it this way. So then if you make that attack, your Lopmon is actually able to then help you Digivolve into the ALittleSpoon if you're swinging with a Wendigomon to begin with, or you might even just jump straight into any of your level 6s if you need to, just outright like that. And being able to go into this MegaGargomon Ace, reducing the cost by 2 is also really great value because of that. And then you can do a lot of combos and synergy with it when depending on the situation. Once you do, you can actually even go for this kind of play. Alliance with Terriermon, going into this Cherubimon, the newer one, which I want to showcase more. Cherubimon is going to use this one Digivolving effect to pop something, and you get to play another thing back from hand or trash. You play another one to Gomon, and then you get to use this alliance once again to beef up even more. And essentially, this is going to be 3 checks with a lot of DP going in. So this is really, really cool because I really like it. Otherwise, sometimes you might just end up, you know, passing memory to your opponent's side of the turn, and you might have a suspended Terriermon here, and then you can go for MegaGargomon Ace to blast, surprise them whenever you need to. Because as soon as they attack and they disrespect it, you blast Digivolve, suspend 2 things down, unsuspend it as well, and then you can block once again if you need to. Or in this particular situation, let's just say you have Terriermon and Lopmon and the memory to work with, and you can actually use Lopmon's main effect, give Terriermon Alliance for the turn, Digivolve in the Wendigomon, pop something or pop your own Lopmon, play the Lopmon back, use its main again the second time to give it another Alliance. And if you're able to build a board with like a bit more bodies, then you can also go into Terriermon. And then once you go into Cherubimon, this stack itself has like triple Alliance. And then you pop another body, and then you would play another body off of it. And if you're able to continue to have like sort of multiple bodies, you can actually alliance into your opponent, suspend 3, all 3 of them, to basically give it like 4 checks and go for a really, really big powerful play with this. So the key takeaway is that Alliance is actually stackable and can stack those kind of effects so they can go for even aggressive plays, bigger checks, take down your opponent's security very explosively in one go, and they wouldn't even see it coming, and that's how you want to win games with this particular deck. If you guys want to see more gameplay action of this particular deck, then be sure to watch this video right here, right now to learn how to play it even more. As always, make sure to subscribe, stay tuned for Cherubimon X as it will be coming real soon, and I'm super excited. And as always, you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video, and this is AVAULT signing out.